Hello and welcome back to Enlightened Affluence. I'm your host, Candra, and definitely, as you know, this is a channel for entrepreneurs and for dreamers. So if you already have a business and you need that resource that you didn't know you might need, we have it here. Also, if you're thinking, could I possibly do that for my business? Could I launch that? See what other entrepreneurs are doing on this channel. And of course, if you need resources, you want to hit the links below for anything for credit financing, or you just need a mentor, anything you may need, show us how we can help you. And definitely you want to subscribe so you get notifications for when we're on the air. So today we have Natasha Berteloot. She is the owner of Heart Therapy, Art Therapy. So you're definitely going to see her link below. How you doing today, Natasha?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited about this one because I love the art space. I love the art space, and now I can't draw to save my life. I can draw eyes. I'm good.
You can draw. I got you, girl.
But I love the fact that you can go in and you can be creative in these different art spaces. So tell us, about your company and what you all do.
Mm-hmm. The name of the company is, like you said, Heart. It's pronounced Heart Therapy, but it's spelled H-Art Therapy. And what we do, we're a paint night, party night, but it's based on the theme that everybody's an artist. Everybody can and should create art. And art is the therapy that your heart needs. So it's kind of merging the therapy and art together to really make a no judgment, safe, creative zone.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. So what is it that made you go into this space in particular for launching your company? Because you had a corporate gig before, right before going into these type of art spaces. What made you choose this?
As a kid, I always loved art. I wanted to be an artist, but I felt like my art was never good enough. And it's scary, you have the term struggling artist, right? It's a scary field to get into. So I got away from it growing up. Just fear kind of paralyzed me. And I got a corporate job that I did not enjoy. And then I had an opportunity to teach art on the side, teaching children how to draw. I loved it. So when I had the opportunity, I purchased that franchise, which was called Young Rembrandt. Awesome franchise. And I ran that business for 10 years. And really working with that business, it really helped me to see the increase of confidence in the children and also in myself. As I'm teaching children, I'm building my own confidence in myself and my abilities, and also seeing that in the children over the years. And I realized children aren't the only ones who need this growth. The Young Rembrandt is an after-school drawing program for children. But as an adult, I was able to see the effects too. So I started painting, and that was always a fear of mine. But I watched some Bob Ross videos, girl, went to the Michaels, bought some art supplies, and painted and surprised myself, And so it just came at a perfect time. And the pandemic was hard for my company because all the schools were closed, and our Young Rembrandt is an after-school drawing program for kids. So basically, for almost 2 years, we didn't have classes. And that's when I kind of birthed my pandemic baby, I call it, Heart Therapy, because I saw so many people. I had friends that worked as essential workers. And I saw that mental health, depression, and other things that they suffered from working and in that field, they saw the pandemic firsthand. They're risking their lives to save our lives. And so I wanted to create a program that was geared towards team building and mental health within businesses and corporations. And so that's kind of how the idea came to mind. And that's, where Heart Therapy came from.
Nice. And what I love is the fact that you have like a hybrid model, because a lot of these art spaces, it's in person now, and not everybody's ready to be in person yet. So you have it where you can do in person, but you can also do virtual. And if a person is having an in-person event, can they also have virtual tie-ins, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we do have both. I'm one of those people. I've been in the house most of the pandemic. So going outside is scary, right? Having to put on shoes. So I have three different options really. We can do online through Zoom, which we have some businesses that I work with. Allstate, for example, we're doing a Zoom team building thing this coming Friday, but we also have in-person options that are available too. And then we can do a hybrid option. If you want to have in person and some people want to tie in on Zoom, we can do that as well.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Now you're actually relaunching. You got a grand opening that's coming up soon, correct? And
Yeah,
what?
so our official grand opening launch party, sorry, I don't know if I cut you off, but our official grand opening launch party is going to be on November 12th in Stockton. That's where our home office is located. And so, yes, we just launched this business this past month. And so this will be our official opening to the public and everyone.
Okay. And to get event tickets, you'll be able to go to the website, correct? And everything and find out how to get there. And
Yes, www.H-Arttherapy.com. You can purchase tickets. You can see some samples of paintings that we have available. And you can set up your own event. If you want to do one-on-one classes with me or one of the other coaches, we have that available. If you want to have a private party, corporate party, kids parties, we do it all. So it's really not based so much on hardcore art. It's fun art, right? Not fine art. So
yes.
we believe everyone can paint. We hold your hand every step of the way. And it's a really fun, lighthearted environment. Get your snacks, your food, your wine, whatever, and have a good time. That's more what it's about, lifting our spirits up, right? And making our heart rejoice.
Yeah, I saw some of those samples and they're just colorful and just make you smile.
Yeah.
So going into that entrepreneur space, because you had to come first, you had to have the courage to leave the corporate to do this. And then you did this and something unexpected came along and you're doing it again. So walk us through the first part. What was it that finally gave you that final push to tell corporate, bye?
Yeah, it's scary, right? Especially when you have a corporate job where you're making very good income or a decent income, to going into the unknown. Fear of the unknown is always scary. But one thing I've learned in the corporate, money come and goes, right? You can get laid off at any time.
Yes.
And so for me, it's important for me to have the freedom and the flexibility that I want, and also to be able to really pour myself into my job. I want it to be something that I love and a brand that I can really stand behind. And that's always been important to me. So like I said, Young Rembrandts had all of those components for me. And so that's how I moved into that. I did plan ahead. It wasn't just a fly of the whim decision too much, because I had savings to be able to, especially when you're purchasing a franchise, you have to be able to have the funds, a capital ahead of time, or have a loan or something in place to be able to purchase it.
Okay, good. So when you went into, instead of it being like ground up, you chose to franchise and everything. So are there, like, when someone's going into franchising and they're picking a franchise, because that's another component of entrepreneurship that a lot of people are like not looking at the way that they should. What's your advice for someone who decides, I may want to venture into franchising?
I think with anything, whether it's a franchising or starting your own business, you definitely want it to be something that you're passionate about, right? It can't be about the money. It has to be something that you're passionate about, because there will be hard times. And you want to be able to speak and be excited about your product or your service that you're offering. So I think that's a huge part of it, something that you truly love. And then you can go from there. They have franchises for all different things, where you can have a franchise, but you still work from home, which is what I own with Young Rembrandts. I work from home, and we're after school program. So we service people at the school or our account. So looking at what you want, you can also have a franchise where you do have a firm building. But thinking about if you want a franchise, it's kind of like if you own a McDonald's, you cannot just start selling tacos, right? There are restrictions that you have to be able to stick within. but the franchise methods are tried and true. They work, right? You have a brand that's recognizable and it's easier for you to get customers. You don't have to figure things out on your own. You have a big business coach, and you have a team standing behind you. So I love that part of the franchise.
Awesome. Okay. So if you've been thinking about franchising, like what Natasha just said, see if that fits you. You know, you may have some restrictions or whatever, but you can franchise with a recognizable brand. So branding is already packaged for you. You have recognizability, so you know people will recognize and see, okay, and maybe wondering, like, when is this franchise coming to the area? So how did you know that, like, for your area, that this was something that was needed, or did you decide I'm gonna be the driving force? My area is gonna need this.
That's a good question. So my franchise kind of fell into my lap because when I was working for corporate, I do a lot of volunteer work within the community. So I saw the opportunity to be an art teacher on the side. And so it was something that I enjoyed. And then there was an owner of the franchise who was my boss, and she was selling it. So when she sent out an email that she was selling it, it was good timing for me to kind of step away from the corporate world and decide to purchase it. So it just fell into my lap. But you can Google different franchises for whatever your business type is. And you can go from there and see what the different price ranges are and what capital you have to have handy, et cetera.
Right. So now there's that other component. You got the business component, and then you got the family. So how do you, because it takes energy, it takes time. So how do you balance family and focus on the business as well, making sure that delicate balance is not right? Because we all, you know, I just got told the other day by my son, we need to spend more time. So we're spending time. So how do you do that? What's your advice? How can we do that?
It can be hard, right? Because your business is your baby, right? So it can get difficult and you can struggle with that balance. But for me, it's all about scheduling. I have a very strict schedule that I keep. And I read an article about successful people really breaking down their day, not just writing down what you want to do, but breaking it down by the hour, maybe even into 30-minute increments, what you want to accomplish. And I look at my schedule and I have it color coded by things that are important to me, whether it's spirituality, whether it's work, family, or whatever, and make sure that it's even as far as what I want and it's balanced. And then I check my schedule daily and making sure I'm not missing anything, including personal hobbies, downtime, me time. That's important too. I'm a creative, so I'm all about having personal time and being balanced in that area as well.
Yes, ma'am. That is so important. I'm finding that out. Even though I'm a creative person, I'm also I come from fast pace. That's what I come from. So like having to pull back, slow down, put that balance. I like that color coding though, because just on visual, you can see, am I balanced? You can see that right off. I like that idea. So when you talk to other entrepreneurs and everything, and as things are getting hard, because it's not just like, oh, I made this idea, it pops up, it's easy and things like that. And especially like what I admire about you is a 1-2 punch, and you are still like, your passion is palpable. Like it's like right there. It's like, yep, I'm starting this up again and it's going to be good. You know, you have your plan together and you are ready to go. How do you stay there? Because we all know there's stumbling blocks along the way. How do we stay there?
That definitely took some punches to the gut. That's for sure. you got to have thick skin. And for me, when I purchased the franchise, it was turnkey, right? I already bought an established business. We had employees, we had accounts, but it still took a lot on my end to be able to maintain, to wrap my mind around everything. So now in this aspect of it, I'm building everything from the ground up. I have to make my own website. I'm building my own marketing materials. There's a lot of different things. And for me, in both circumstances, starting both of my businesses, it was failure is not an option. I don't have another job. I don't have a backup account. I spent my savings to launch the franchise. I had nothing else. So it was like, this has to work, right? And I'm in the same situation now after all this time of my franchise is struggling. I don't have the funds. It's been almost 2 years. I don't have the funds or I don't have a second job, so this is it, and it has to work. It's just what it is. And I feel like when you put that yourself in that situation, you make it happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but your has to work is your vocalage and your flow of has to work is more, okay, this has to work. And but some people it's like, this has to work.
It's planning, right? And talking to other people, people who have already done what you want to do.
Okay.
Whether if you don't know them personally, going online, even if it means paying for a service and seeing how you can pick their brain and what things you can take, what works for you, looking at other businesses in that same genre that you want to do, what are they missing? What can you create and add to make it better? So I think sometimes we think we have to figure everything out by ourselves, and we don't. That, there's a worldwide web of information available. No matter what you want to do, there's somebody who can help you and give you some tidbits along the way. So I think just talking to others, business professionals, I want to work with corporates. I'm moving from elementary schools to working to corporates now, right? I'm talking to my friends that work in corporate, and picking their brain has really been helpful and motivates me when I feel a little drained.
Awesome. Awesome. And having that model of the virtual option too gives, us a chance if we're not in the Stockton area, we can, we can join in. And
anywhere in the world, you're welcome.
I was going to ask you that. If it's international, anywhere in the world, no matter where you are, you can chime in. So what is it that sets you apart? Like you apart from the other, paint and slips that are out there and the other painting events? What is it that you bring to the table that we're not going to get anywhere else?
There are some amazing paint night events that are found in different educational art programs. But for me, working with art education, since for over 13 years. And then during the pandemic, one of the things that I did with my scheduling, I didn't want to lose my schedule, even though things were slow. So how can I still be productive? So one of the things I did was go back and finish college and get my degree in education with a minor in counseling. Thank you. Yeah, I was really proud of myself. I celebrated at home, but I got a degree in counseling, and on the side as well now, just one day a week, I do counseling for kids. And so you really have that therapy session mixed in with the art session together. And I really think that's what makes us different and sets us apart. It's that therapy that you're getting through art.
Right. Therapy doesn't feel like therapy. It's not like, just like,
you're having therapy, but you don't realize you're having therapy.
Right. This is truly healing. This is truly healing. I love it. I love it. So, ma'am, as we're closing out the interview, I want to give you the last word. You're speaking to entrepreneurs, you're speaking to dreamers, you're speaking to those people who may want to get into your space or who are just they're this close to taking that leap and living their dream. What do you say?
One time I'm going to end with a story. Sorry. I went to a women's conference, and at this time I was into fashion, and I asked, well, what do I do if I want to help women, and with fashion? And she said, get you some business cards, tell people that's what you do, and start passing it out, right? So it's just about taking that first step. If that's what you want to do it, just get started. You got to start somewhere. And so for me, it was just so profound because I never even thought about that. I was just overthinking it. And I think we overthink and we talk ourselves out of something that could be beautiful and amazing. So I just say, take that leap of faith. I do it all the time. And, face your fears, take courage. Your inner child, when we're children, which is why I love kids so much, is when we're a child, we believe we can do anything, right? And we're great at everything. And that's what people tell us, and they feed us that energy. But as we get older, that kind of starts to fade away, which is unfortunate. So we have to tap into our inner kid and the confidence that we had in ourselves and our abilities then.
Awesome. So basically, keep it simple and just do it. Bottom line, because we do have, when we grow up, we have that inner conversation. I love it. I love it. So everyone, Natasha's information is going to be at the bottom. It's Heart Therapy, H-Art Therapy. But again, that all the contact, you have Instagram too, correct? So all the contact information will be down.
Yes.
Now for the grand opening, are tickets on Eventbrite or anything of that nature?
Yeah, they actually are on Eventbrite as well, so you can check it out on Eventbrite. They are also on our website, and if you follow us on our Instagram and Facebook, the tickets are also available there. If it's so easy, where if you just want to take a picture of the flyer, it'll have the Venmo, so you can pay really quick and easy for our in-person event. And like I said, if you can't make the in-person event, we do have Zoom, so we can do a Zoom day together.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time, Natasha. I appreciate it. And I'm wishing you the best on this grand opening. We'll drive that traffic to the site and everything. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking with you today and being here.
All right, we'll have you back on again. Okay, bye everyone.